students, welcome back to history lecture. In this lecture we will continue our chapter number 2. In this lesson we are studying about various ruling powers existed in India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. We studied about various dynasties such as Pal dynasty, Gurjar Pratihar dynasty. In this lecture we will learn about the remaining dynasties. So let us continue our chapter. Now we will learn about Rajput dynasties in North India. Among the Rajput dynasties in North India, the Ghatwal and the Parmar dynasties were the important ones. Before we learn more about the Rajput dynasty, let us know who were the Rajputs. In the 7th and 8th century, a group of people emerged who called themselves Rajputs, which means sons of kings. They were warriors who hailed from Rajasthan and parts of central India. Rajputs were known for their courage and loyalty. Even Rajput women were trained for warfare and did not hesitate to go into the battlefield. Among Rajputs, Prithviraj Chauhan, belonging to the Chauhan dynasty, was a valiant king. The Battle of Tarai was fought between Prithviraj Chauhan and Muhammad Ghuri. In the first battle, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghuri. But in the second war at Tarai, Muhammad Ghuri defeated Prithviraj Chauhan and took his revenge. Next, we will learn about Chola dynasty. First, we will discuss about who were the eminent rulers of Chola dynasty and where did the Cholas rule. Rajaraj I and Rajendra I, belonging to the Chola dynasty in Tamil Nadu, were the eminent rulers. The Cholas conquered the Maldive Islands and Sri Lanka using their naval strength. King Vishnuvardhan, belonging to the Hoysala dynasty in Karnataka, had conquered whole Karnataka. Next dynasty is Rashtrakud dynasty. It was founded in Maharashtra by Govind III. The Rashtrakud power spread from Kannauj up to Rameshwar. Later, Krishna III, the king of Rashtrakud dynasty, conquered the region up to Allahabad. Three dynasties of Shilahars emerged in western Maharashtra. One ruled over Thane and Raigad in northern Konkan, and second ruled in south Konkan, while the third dynasty ruled over some parts of present-day Kolhapur, Satara, Sangli and Belgaum district. Do you know, students, which power was the last power before the period of Shivaji Maharaj? Which period is considered to be the golden period of Marathi language and literature? Let us see. The last prosperous power before the period of Shivaji Maharaj was that of Yadavas. The capital of William V of the Yadava dynasty was at Deogiri near Aurangabad. He extended his rule beyond the Krishna river. The Yadava period is considered to be the golden period of Marathi language and literature. It was this period that the Mahanubhav Panth and the Warkari movement emerged. Let us learn in detail about Mahanubhav Panth and Warkari movement. Mahanubhav Panth is a Hindu sect started by Sri Chakradhar Swami, which was based on a religious as well as social movements in India. This literature generally describes the incarnations of gods, commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita, and the stories of Sri Krishna. Warkari means performing the Wari to Pandharpur in the worship of Lord Vitthal, also known as Lord Vithoba. Palkis carrying the Paduka, which means footprints of the deity, are taken from their shrines to Pandharpur. Warkari is a Marathi term which means one who performs the Wari. Students, take down an activity. Collect more information about various dynasties which existed before the times of Shivaji Maharaj, which we have studied in this lesson. In next lecture, we will continue with the same chapter and we will learn about invasions from the northwest and Sultanate in the north. Thank you.